Oh, good. Nice one. Yeah, so we work very closely with Microsoft. We've got a gentleman called Graham Walsh, who's a Microsoft valued professional working for us. He's a bit of a legend, bit of a big deal on the internet. I used to look at a lot of Graham Walsh's material before I joined Neat, so we're pretty stoked to have him on board. And he's joined. Yeah, he's got a great blog, so much information. A lot of people learn a lot of stuff from Graham, and he's very generous with his time and his knowledge. And he used to work for the MTRW side of the fence, and now he's jumped across to the MTR Android. So he's with us now, which is cool. Yeah, just part of our Microsoft credentials that I'm sort of telling you about there. Yeah, and there's all our current devices. The Neat board, Neat Bar Pro is the bigger bar. Neat Frame, which is a Teams panel. Teams display. Thank you. Teams display. Get it mixed up. The Neat Pad is the Teams panel, and that's the room controller outside the room. And if you see our stand downstairs, we also have a new product, our Neat Board 50, so the smaller all-in-one integrated touchscreen, which is, I was just going to say, I don't know if that's certified with Microsoft yet, but if it's not, it soon will be, because that'll be available in the next couple of months, definitely this year, the Neat Board 50. Oh, there it is there. So it's the Neat Board 50 with its adaptive floor stand. So yeah, the workplace is changing. Neat at the forefront of that with Microsoft Teams Room. So we're continuing to evolve, innovate. We've got 3 patents in the industry with Neat Symmetry, Neat Boundary, and Neat Share, which is now patent pending, our 3rd patent that'll be coming up soon. And I'll give you a bit of a live demo of that, all things going well. We're more than just meetings. I'm just sort of breezing through the slideshow pretty quickly so I can get to the fun stuff, which is the live demo, because nothing like seeing how a live demo goes on trade show Wi-Fi. All our devices downstairs are on the trade show internet. Yes, introducing Neat Pulse. This is what we're here to learn about today. So complements Teams Admin Center and the Teams management. Oh, sorry, Pro Portal. Thank you. Yeah, thanks very much, Kayla. Yeah, so the components of Neat Pulse are the control, which is the actual remote control, configuration settings, support, remote support with Neat support. And then we have care, which is now, as Neat is maturing and getting bigger and getting more global customers, we need to start prioritizing our support with SLAs. So that'll be a paid service. The control component of Pulse is free and looks like it's going to remain free. So anyone who's got a Neat device can sign up for a Pulse account and start monitoring and controlling their devices. We then have Pulse Plus, which involves the care, which is our support with SLAs. And our support team can escalate to Microsoft support as well when needed. So you come through Neat and we can ask Microsoft for help if needed. And cover, that's the Pulse Pro, we're calling it. That's the top tier. We're no longer selling warranty with our devices. Cover includes warranty, which is advanced replacement support, advanced replacement warranty. So if your device fails and needs support, say, yep, we need to RMA it, we'll ship you one out next day, and then you just get that box and ship the old one back to us. Without that, could be out of action for up to a couple of weeks while it does ground shipping, no prioritized support, no prioritized shipping. And choice is what I'm here to talk about as well today. This is Neat trying to give you more value out of your Neat rooms, out of your video conferencing devices, a bigger return on investment. So yeah, definitely you can run it as a Microsoft Teams room, or you can take it out of Microsoft Teams and put it into app mode. It's got to be very clear. There's definitely no app switching between apps and Microsoft Teams rooms. It's one or the other. So if you're in Microsoft Teams room, users can't swap between apps. But if it's in app mode, then users can choose the different apps, which I'll show you. And that's only configurable via an IT admin. So yeah, users can't chop and change between Microsoft Teams rooms and apps. But your admin with access to Neat Pulse, they can reboot and restart the device and change the platform. Yeah, so that's Neat Choice. So what I'm showing you here is an example of our Neat Pad. That's running AppSpace. If you wanted to have a different option with your Teams room, you could have Microsoft Teams in the room and an AppSpace scheduling panel outside the room. And it's similar to the way mobile phones have progressed. That's a visual example there of the old Nokia versus a smartphone now. We think our devices are just getting a bit smarter, a lot smarter. So here's an example of some of the apps. Yeah, so like I said before, if you choose Microsoft Teams, then you're your Neat device is a Microsoft Teams room, and there's no swapping between that. Otherwise, if you don't, you can have a Microsoft Teams room paired with another Neat device, and I'll show you how that works.
Like you can run Teams as an app, just not as a Microsoft Teams room native. Is that what?
No, you can't.
Okay, so you won't run Teams at all if you're in app mode.
That's right. Yep. And this is a glimpse of the Neat Pulse portal. So the illustration here is saying on a company-wide basis, if you enabled Zoom and Teams, you can't enable the apps. So yeah, that's what we're trying to illustrate there, and showing how you can just toggle the apps on and off there. So control, there's a couple of the features on, so device remote control, which is pretty cool. I know some MTR solutions have a remote control functionality, but it's not native through Teams Admin Center. So so Neat's control, or Neat Pulse portal, will give you remote control, which I'll show you in a sec. So yeah, centralized device management. It's much easier to demonstrate live, but yeah, these are some of the bullet points. Easy to enroll. It's going to help with the out-of-box experience. You can sort of pre-configure some device settings. So if you had a whole bunch of MTRs going across to a different time zone, you could apply a device policy to those devices, so that when they power up, they just skip through and they configure themselves to the right time zone, the right screensaver, power save settings, things like that. Care I've spoken about, so we can skip over that. But yeah, you get priority emails, priority SLAs, and priority support and escalation with Microsoft. So they're the three plans I was talking about. So yeah, Neat Pulse Starter is free, Pulse Plus and Pulse Pro, with the differences being support added and then advanced replacement added to the Pro plan. Yep. So yeah, that's a quick run through of the slides, because slides are pretty boring. So let's try this demo and see how we go. So I can actually show you what Neat Pulse does. Get rid of that. Just find my browser. Alrighty, so this is our Neat Pulse live environment downstairs. These are all our devices downstairs. So I'll give you a quick run through of the portal here. Over on the side, we have our settings. So the first thing to note is that everything's audited. So I just started a remote control session, so you can't do anything on the sneaky. Same as if there's change control. So big organizations need to know if any changes are made to your fleet. So any system settings changes are all logged in here. Very handy to be accountable. There's no anonymous access. Everyone's a named user. Authentication supports Microsoft SSO, Google SSO, or just email and password at this stage, with plans down the track to support maybe Okta and those kind of identity providers. Settings is just where you can change the name of the portal. It's very configurable. Like, you just change things on the fly, as you can see. You can't really break it, but it's pretty easy to configure. And this is where you set up your hierarchy. Only 2 levels deep: regions and locations. The reason we don't have a really complicated deep hierarchy with floors, buildings, that kind of stuff, is because I'll show you the search and the filtering in a second. It's not really needed. We just try and keep it nice and simple. And if I'll go to users next. So with users, you can be an owner or an admin at the moment. We'll probably have a read-only user coming up for facilities managers, people that just want to see room statistics, such as the Neat Sense data with temperature and room environmental conditions. If you're assigned as an admin, you can be assigned to a location in the hierarchy, so you can only administer a certain area, certain country. Owners can administer everything. So even if you had the URL of this Neat tenant, the Pulse tenant, you wouldn't be able to get in unless you're explicitly invited. You do need to have an account that's been explicitly invited to this portal. Yeah, you can try logging in, but you just won't get anywhere if your account doesn't exist. Device profiles, you can have as many device profiles as you want. You might have a device profile for Neat frames, or you might have a device profile for a country. Yeah, just whatever you need. A dev environment, so you might have your Neat devices that get the latest Neat firmware ahead of all your production fleet. And these configure all the Neat system settings. Yep, so you can see there I've configured operating system updates to be manual, so that's automatic. Back to manual. Yep, screen, just everything you find on the device itself just makes it. Yeah, yep, and assign them to different devices. Yeah, so everything you would see on the device itself. And the plan is, the idea is, Neat Pulse is the source of truth for configuration settings. So if you knew the local admin password on the device, you could unlock the device, but that setting, if it's been configured in Pulse, will be locked, so you can't change on the device. Otherwise, you'll get a mismatch of where settings have been configured. So you want to know they've always been configured from Pulse. Apps is new. Yep, so this is the current list of apps. It's not so much about what apps we've currently got. It's more about opening up the idea, the thought of what can we do with Neat devices rather than what's currently available. But yeah, Miro is quite a popular one. A lot of people want to be able to use Miro and just share that into their Teams room, into their Teams meeting. And I'll give you a live demo of that in a sec. But yeah, and companies might have their own apps that they've developed for Android. They can submit that to Neat and request that app become made available in Neat Pulse. So it could be quite handy if you've got a touchscreen Neat board, you want to have your own app that your company uses. That's a possibility as well. So yeah, really sort of opening up the idea of getting more value out of your video conferencing devices. And devices are where all your devices actually sit. This up the top here in the search bar, you can search by the name of a room, an IP address, or a serial number. Recommend having a naming convention for your meeting room. So if you had an office in George Street, and this goes back to that hierarchy before, and it doesn't need to be complicated with your hierarchy. If you had level 4 George Street, you could just type in L4 George, and every meeting room that had that string in it would come up. So I've got a naming convention for all my Neat frames. Everything's called Neat frame. So I just type in one of those words and it just pops everything up.
Based on account name by email?
No, this is purely based on the room name that you've set up in Pulse. Yeah, room resource email address in M365. Yeah. And the reason I'm showing you this grouping is because whatever you search for, you can select all and perform bulk device actions on. Yeah, so it's just really super easy to use. So we could assign a profile to all these devices, and that'll instantly take effect. Those devices just change all their system settings based on whatever's set in the device profile. We could update them all if they're set to manual updates. By default, Neat devices are on auto update. Just something to point out there, you do still need Teams Admin Center to update the Microsoft Teams Room application itself. So Neat Pulse can't control that. Neat Pulse can update the operating system firmware. And the reason that's important is because you get new technology, new features from Neat and from Teams, but on the Neat side with the firmware, things like symmetry, what's a recent one, de-reverberation, so more sound processing done through software, that all comes down through firmware updates. So that's why it's important to keep your devices up to date with the latest firmware. Untick that. So if I had any devices that were offline, you'd have a little red notification on this filter box over here. So you could quickly identify all your rooms that are offline or any rooms that are in a call. There's not a lot happening down there at the moment. It looks like none of our rooms are in a call. So I think people are starting to wander off to get a drink. So let's show you remote control. But yeah, this lets you just filter by anything, even device, if you just wanted to see all of a certain device or a location, or if devices were offline, you could click on show me all my offline devices, anything like that. So let's click into here. Yep, so you can add an image. I've just added an image for this one to show App Hub. It's nice to be able to have a visual so you know what room you're dealing with. If you just take a quick photo, upload a photo to Neat Pulse. You can see Neat Sense data there. So we've got a temperature in Fahrenheit for some reason. That's to do with browser settings. On my laptop, it shows in Celsius. Humidity, volatile organic compounds, and carbon dioxide. Again, handy for facilities managers. If people are complaining about rooms being too hot or too cold, now you've got data to back up those complaints. Yeah. Never heard that before, Kayla? No. And this is interesting. So even though this room is not in a call, it's saying it's in use with 9 people in it. So if it was in a call, you'd have a little notification down here saying it's in a call if it was in a Microsoft Teams meeting. But clicking into it, oops, just go back to the room, sorry. It's telling us that it's in use. And so what that means is the actual Neat device is not in a Teams meeting, but there's people in the meeting room. So they might just be having a local meeting. And the camera is just detecting people and counting the number of people in the room. So if you wanted to do something remotely, you've got 2 ways of knowing if there's someone in there. It's either in a meeting or it's in use because there's just people sitting in the room. So I'll show you. Oh, support is really cool now through Pulse. So to contact Neat support, previously you'd log an email. You would have to have a laptop on the same network as your Neat device. You'd have to enable the remote web admin, set a password and browse to the IP address, then download the logs on the network for that Neat device. Now with Neat Pulse, if I click on send feedback, actually this is not my laptop, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. It'll open up your default mail client and pre-configure an email for you.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, so on my laptop it just configures an email, but yeah, that's what would happen. And Neat Pulse, it has a unique identifier, so the Neat support team can, because your device is enrolled in Pulse, they can remotely grab the logs from that device, so the device will upload to the cloud, and then our support team have got them, so you can just do that from home. You don't need to be on the same network anymore, making support really easy for you. Alrighty, let's have a look at remote control. No, I don't want to restart. Where are I? Oh, sorry, I need to go into the devices over here. So what's happening? It's requesting, waiting for approval. So downstairs on our devices, there's a pop-up on the front of room display and the NeatPad room controller saying Elliot Knox wants to control this room with a 15-second countdown. If there's someone in the room, they can just go, no, I don't want someone controlling this room, I'm here, and they can block you. Otherwise, it'll by default count down to 0 and start up the remote control session. And why is that one not coming up? I can try that again, but otherwise, I was going to say, let's just retry. That might do another 15-second countdown. Maybe someone down there went, no, cancel. Quite possible. It said there was 9 people in the room. But yeah, super cool because you get to see the controller, the room controller for the Teams room, plus the front of room display. So currently, for some reason, we're only seeing the front of room display on the NeatBar Pro. I'm going to have to try that again. Yeah, right.
Because I do demos for Microsoft Teams rooms devices, it's always easy to get the front of room display, but the console for Android has been
very hard to get.
I just have to point a camera at it. There's nowhere to pull.
Yeah.
Because obviously you guys have the platform. Immediately sparks my interest.
Yep, a lot of people just go, whoa, that's pretty handy.
Yeah, it's easy on Windows. My desktop in and
that's right.
On Android, it's
hasn't been a thing. Yeah. So this just opens up a new browser tab. There we go.
Yeah, that's.
Yep. So I can join that meeting. So if someone can do remote white glove support for someone in the room if they need some help running their meeting. Yep. So there we can see Neat symmetry, and that's still busy down there. So that's let me just break that out into a separate window. Cool. And let's do another remote control session. So we'll go back in this same room, and we've got the Neat board 50 paired. So I'm going to jump into that and remote control this one as well. Just got to do the 15-second countdown. And what you'll notice there, within Neat Pulse, in this room, we've got the Microsoft Teams room, NeatBar Pro and NeatPad. And now you can see it's in a call because I've started that call remotely. And we've also got the Neat board 50 running in app mode. So not configured as a Microsoft Teams room. It's paired in Neat Pulse. And what that does, if our remote control has come up now, it gives us this little is Neat Share. This is our 3rd patent that we've got pending. So we've got 2 patents approved, and this is our patent pending technology called Neat Share. So this Neat board 50 is currently running in app mode, and you'll see there's no option there to start Microsoft Teams. So let's just start Miro. Cool. Someone's changed my Miro board, but that's good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit on the share button, and that's instantly started sharing that content into the Microsoft Teams meeting. Wow. So someone down, yes. So every remote participant in the Teams meeting is now seeing the content that is being shared from that standalone Neat board, running Miro or AppSpace or whatever.
They need to be like within Bluetooth range, or does it not?
All the techies ask that question, how does it work? And Neat say to us, we're not telling. It's secret source. Yeah. So we can only guess, really. Someone told me that it could be 50 meters away, so that would indicate some kind of Wi-Fi network. Yeah. All our devices support Wi-Fi, so maybe there's a Wi-Fi direct thing going on, but it seems to happen very quickly. I don't know. Yeah. It's amazing. That's true, isn't it? Yeah. Must be over there.
PAP, that's what they do.
That's true. It must be over the network. Yep. So on the board 50, we can just swap between apps there. Spotify. Yeah. Again, there's our browser, which is really responsive. If you want to go and have a look at the Neat board 50, it scrolls through really smoothly. It'll play a video. That's our Neat website. It'll play the video really smoothly and play that in. Oh, someone stopped sharing. Someone's interfering with my demo down there. Yeah, they're like, what's happening over there? Yep. But yeah, that's a pretty cool demo of and that's on Trade Show Internet, which is pretty good. So imagine what that'll do on your corporate Wi-Fi and a fast MPN connection at home if you're doing it from home.
Yeah, this is very saturated Wi-Fi, right?
Yep. So I was just gonna end that session. So yep, I've ended remote control on the board. And then over here on the MTR, I can end that session. We can just close the tab. So yeah, that's remote restart. Sure. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that I can show you. So yeah, I can take any questions. Yeah, that's Neat Pulse.
And this is a licensed like monthly fee, or how does it work?
Yeah, good question. So there's the 3 tiers. There's the free tier, Pulse Starter, Pulse Pro, Pulse Plus. Sorry, Pulse Plus, Pulse Pro. And it's based on a percentage of the retail price of each device.
Oh, okay. So
It is upfront.
Yeah.
But you could go get it financed.
Yeah.
understood. So,
Yeah, we don't send you a monthly bill.
yeah, you're not actually running like a software as a service.
No, but we would love for our partners to do that.
Yeah, it's only available through the channel,
Okay.
so we don't sell it directly. We sell it in 1, 3, and 5 year terms. So if you pay for it every year, then it's a yearly subscription. Otherwise, it's a 3-year deal. So it's showing a fair bit of confidence too. It's pretty amazing actually. If our current customers that have 3-year-old Neat devices that are just coming up to the end of their warranty period, they can choose to renew for Neat Pulse with another 3 years. So that's 6 years of support on the hardware. So yeah, we're backing our hardware there, which is pretty cool. To get 6 years total.
So everyone has a cloud management, and I'm quite familiar with several of them. It's the first time I've seen this, and I'm really impressed because it's very different. It seems very easy.
Yeah.
And it's sitting in a different lane than what everyone else is doing. It's really interesting. It's got a really cool feature.
Yeah, thanks, Carlo. On the roadmap is API access. So some of our partners are using management platforms like Symphony or Innomate. There's a couple of others I can't remember the name of. So rather than having the current management platform plus Neat Pulse, you can just get the data from Neat Pulse into your existing platform. So some partners are really happy about that. API access also is going to open up things like direct integration into ServiceNow. So ServiceNow can detect when a room has an issue and log a ticket and get that happening automatically. Email alerts are going to be coming soon. Yeah, it's constantly evolving. Neat were planning on releasing this in March this year. It got pushed back to August, and I'm pretty happy they did because it's a very different product than it was back in March than it is now. So they wanted to make it a bit more feature rich before they came to market. But yeah, sign up at neat.no, NO for Norway, /Pulse, and you can just jump in there. And as long as you've got any single Neat device, you just need a serial number, you can get your tenant set up within 1 to 2 days. Pro plan, the top level.
So you get Pulse, advanced technical support and advanced replacement.
Yeah, awesome.
So yeah, it doesn't, for anyone that's an existing Neat customer that bought a device and warranty, then they get the full Pulse package, which is quite cool, really. We're not having to go back to any existing customers and say you need to, buy something that you didn't buy already. And then people aren't like, oh, I already bought warranty and now it's.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing.
So the top level, you'll get advanced replacement, warranty and Neat Pulse together.
Yeah, designed to be kind of easy to use. You don't need a lot of IT training to jump in and start mucking around with it. Yeah, adding a. That's true. Fits with our philosophy kind of thing. Yeah.
Design concepts are very different. very refreshing to see simple interface. Because the Chinese and Japanese philosophy is all information has to be on every page has to be full of as much information as possible.
Right.
So I find it very difficult to look at.
MTR neat board, is this the one? I just like showing people this one because people hear Android, and if they haven't dealt with Android before, they're not familiar with it, they get a bit worried. They immediately think it's a security concern, but it's really not, because yeah, it's used everywhere. We didn't ask for this advertisement, but yeah, there's just photos on Twitter and LinkedIn for President Biden using Neat Devices Android appliance. Microsoft obviously fully document that. Microsoft got a white paper on Android MTRA security on their documentation, fully supported by Microsoft Intune with conditional access policies and compliance policies. So if you've got those policies in place, the device.
Workshop on that.
Oh, that'd be interesting. I'm going to duck away for that. That'll be cool. Yeah.
You know, I've had Android devices approved finance in Singapore, Taiwan, Australia. I've done defense in Australia.
Oh, cool.
Bunch of government here. It's once you understand that it's an appliance and you understand a few concepts around what security does need to be put in place, it's not that complicated a process, and it's just an education piece for the IT teams and network security teams. But
yeah,
I think as far as security goes, there's no question that it's a fully secure platform now.
Definitely. Yeah.
And Microsoft are even doing more actually with things coming up as well.
Internally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So it'll be in the next, I'm sure, like neat releases as well. But Microsoft's adding some extra layers. They're going to put Defender in there and
oh, cool.
Things. So you actually, just extra layers of security.
Yeah, very cool. That's good to know. Yeah, I'm going to come and see your session tomorrow, Kayleigh, for sure. That'll be good. Thanks for coming, guys. But yeah, any questions? Or me and Danielle are going to head back down to the stand if you want to come down and have a chat. Yeah. Thanks for coming. Yeah.